fascinating. So that kind of sounds like my story too. I think my first two books was written so long ago now, I can't even remember. I had wrote myself, and I kind of like pieced them together, and then I hired an editor for about $100 or so. I think it was like $85 I paid this person to go in and clean them up and make them legible and really, to make them much better. And I published those on Amazon, and to my surprise, they ended up selling. So that was pretty cool. So let me ask you a question. I know that you've had the course for a while before you jumped into it, right? Is that right?
Yeah, right.
All right. It's ironic that you said that at the very beginning, because I was just reading this book here, Atomic Habits, which you probably saw me recommend, or maybe you saw one of the guys recommended in the group. And in the chapter that I was reading today, they mentioned motion versus action, right? So motion versus action. And this is where I was at when I first got started. And that was, I was planning it out. I was thinking about everything. I'm in the moment of motion, but I didn't take any action. Did you find that that was the same with you? Where you planned it out for a while, you thought about it, and then you finally jumped in, or did you just jump in once you decided to?
Yeah, I guess I was kind of planning, but I was just thinking too much and not doing anything, but just sitting about it and thinking and just kind of watching the training videos. And I guess I felt kind of lost at first. I was looking at this, looking at that, and then I just came up with this silly like zombie story. Again, like I didn't think anybody would even read it.
Very cool, very cool. Let me ask you, how long was it before you started to see like your first dollar? Because that's what I'm always fascinated about. I'm always fascinated to like hear, how long did it take from like when you published your book and made it available on Amazon to when you made like that first dollar? Because for me, that's the most impactful. The first dollar proves the concept and it makes it believable. So how long did it take?
So the first book, like I had a few sales within the first week, like maybe 5 or 6. And I thought that was cool because the first book was just 99 cents.
Right.
I said, people are actually reading it. So I said, well, I guess I'll keep writing this story if people are reading it. And then I finally broke down and did the book funnel thing because I didn't understand it. I didn't want to do it. I said, I've just got to pay the $10 to get in book funnel and see what it does. And then more people were reading it. And just like that, I had like 1,500 subscribers. So that was cool.
Serious? How did that
feel?
How did it feel like to know that? Because I take it you didn't writing, you haven't, like you said that your background isn't in writing it. And how did that feel like to put something up and know that people actually bought something that came from your own creative mind there?
It felt good. And not that like the books have a lot of reviews, but I like that people like will leave reviews and say that they liked it. Like I was surprised by that. Right. That was really cool.
I don't know what it feels like to give birth, but I do have 4 children. I can only imagine that creating something like whatever it is, creating an ebook and then putting it out there is like minus the pain, right? Giving birth to, a child, and you're making it available for the world to now say, look at this thing in all its glory, So again, I'm not speaking for personal experience. I don't know what that feeling is like, but I mean, what would you compare that to? Like being able to create your own ebook, your own content, and putting it out there. Is there anything that you can compare it to?
Yeah, like it just feels good to be accomplished. To say like I did it, I wrote 5 books that people actually read and bought. Like, to know that like I did something, like I feel like I contributed something good. At least people are entertained, So like, maybe it's silly, but I thought it was cool.
Very cool. How many words are your ebooks right now?
Actually, they're very short stories. Like my secret is I only do 6,000 words. That's it. Like I don't go over 6,000 words. 6,000. And anybody could do that because you would be surprised if you start a book, it's like just your introduction is probably like 1,000 words right there. Like when you're just explaining and introducing these characters and then how quick it goes after that.
Yeah, that's why I love doing these interviews because everyone has a different approach, right? Like everyone takes the program, but then they add their own twist to it, which I think is a beautiful thing. So to hear that you've got books that are 6,000 words, and my kids are publishing on Amazon too, right? I've got a 13-year-old and a 16-year-old that's publishing. So now I can I never even thought to publish 6,000 words.
Yeah, just do 6,000, try it, because you'll even still get pages, like, because you look in the short reads and you'll see like there's 29 pages I can't remember exactly what it is for like 30-minute reads and stuff like that. That's a great place to start. I think anybody could start there.
I think so too. I think that definitely breaks down a barrier, especially if you're thinking, hey, I need all of this content. When that just disproves it, you know. So what Kelly just said is an eye-opener to me, because 6,000 words, you could probably sit down and write that in a day or two or three, probably at most. And I'm not sure, but Kelly, how long does that take you to write a 6,000?
You were right. You were right. It only takes like a day or two. And maybe like when it's done, I'll think about it for a couple days, because maybe like I want to change a character or kind of just change a little something in the story before I send it to the editor.
Gotcha. Very cool. So what's your plan for publishing a new book? What frequency? Like, how often do you plan on publishing a new book now that you have like a rhythm going?
I want to do these short zombie stories. I want to do it like every other week. And I think that's pretty doable. So if I can do 1 or 2 a month,
yep,
I want to try that.
Very cool. I think you know what? I know that that's definitely possible. I'm gonna hold you accountable for that. So I'm gonna hold you in the group accountable for that. I'll send you a message every once in a while. Hey Kelly, how's that next book coming? How's that next book coming? Because I think that's important, especially when you're doing something like this, something that you may never have done before. Having an accountability partner, or having like dozens of accountability partners, or someone that you can share your dreams with, or someone that you can go in and ask questions to and get answers. I think that's super important. And that's actually what we provide in the Kindle Cash Flow community. Can you talk about like, what has your experience been with the community so far? We've got just about 13,000 people that are in there. What has your experience been?
I think these people are great. They're like a family. Like if you have a question or you can't figure something out, there's always the answer. Like even if you don't want to type in and ask it, but if you search like a few keywords of your questions, someone else has asked it and you can just go through and find the answer real quick. And it's just like a really quick way to like problem solve if you can't figure something out, or maybe you're just kind of looking for an idea or just to learn things.